Good afternoon, everyone. Today's the 25th of September. It's Wednesday afternoon. Mark's been reading through Matthew. Today he's ready for Matthew, the 14th chapter. Just to do a quick summation of that chapter. Herod threw John the Baptist in prison because John the Baptist called out divorce and made Herod upset. And we know about the birthday where Herodias danced before Herod, and he offered to give her up to half of his kingdom, and she asked for John the Baptist's head on a charger, and to save face, he gave it to her. He had John killed. And then we have the feeding of the 5,000. And we have Christ walking on the sea, and Peter wanting to go, and then Peter began to sink, and Christ said, "O thou of little faith." And we also have him bringing all of the diseased people, that he could touch them and make them whole. I'll turn this over to Mark and have him read it to you.
Matthew chapter 14. At that time Herod the tetrarch heard of the fame of Jesus, and said unto his servants, This is John the Baptist. He is risen from the dead. Therefore mighty works do show forth themselves in him. For Herod had laid hold on John, and bound him, and put him in prison for Herodias' sake, his brother Philip's wife. For John said unto him, It is not lawful for you to have her. But when he would have put him to death, he feared the multitude, because they counted him as a prophet. When Herod's birthday was kept, the daughter of Herodias danced before them, pleased Herod. Whereupon he promised with an oath to give her whatsoever she would ask. She, being before instructed of her mother, said, Give me here John Baptist's head in a charger. And the king was sorry, nevertheless, for those sake, and them which sat with him at meat, he commanded it to be given her. He sent and beheaded John in the prison, and his head was brought in a charger and given to the damsel, and she brought it to her mother. His disciples came and took of the body and buried it, and went and told Jesus. When Jesus heard of it, he departed thence by ship into a desert place apart. When the people had heard thereof, they followed him on foot out of the cities. When Jesus went forth and saw a great multitude, was moved with compassion toward them, and he healed their sick. And when it was evening, his disciples came to him, saying, This is a desert place. The time is now past. Send the multitude away, that they may go into the villages and buy themselves victuals. And Jesus said unto them, They need not depart. Give ye them to eat. And they say unto him, We have here 5 loaves and 2 fishes. He said, Bring them hither to me. Command the multitude to sit down on the grass, and took the 5 loaves and 2 fishes. Looking up to heaven, he blessed and brake, and gave the loaves to the disciples, and the fishes to the multitude. They did all eat and were filled, and they took up the fragments that remained, 12 baskets full. They that had eaten were about 5,000 men, besides women and children. Straightway Jesus constrained his disciples to get into the ship, to go before him to the other side, while he sent the multitudes away. When he had sent the multitudes away, he went up into the mountain apart to pray. When the evening was come, he was there alone. But the ship was now in the midst of the sea, tossed with waves, for the wind was contrary. In the 4th watch of the night, Jesus went unto them walking on the sea. When the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were troubled, saying, It is a spirit, and they cried out for fear. Straightway Jesus spake unto them, saying, Be of good cheer, it is I, be not afraid. And Jesus answered him and said, Lord, if thou be, bid me come unto thee on the water. And he said, Come. But when Peter was come down to the ship, he walked on the water to go to Jesus. And when he saw the wind boisterous, he was afraid, and began to sink. He cried, saying, Lord, save me. Immediately Jesus stretched forth his hand and caught him, and said unto him, O thou of little faith, wherefore didst thou doubt? When they were come into the ship, the wind ceased, and they that were in the ship came worshiping him, saying, Of a truth thou art the Son of God. When they were gone over, they came into the land of Gennesaret. When the men of the place had knowledge of him, they sent out into all the country round about, brought unto him all that were diseased, besought him that they might only touch the hem of his garment. As many as touched were made whole.
Thank you, Lord.